The following is a presentation of TFNN. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Every trading day, live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Call now, toll free at 877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. We have the Dow Industrials down 126. You got the Nasdaq off 122. S&P's off 18. Gold contract flat, $19.46 an ounce. You got silver up 30 cents, $25.49 an ounce. Light sweet crude off 87 cents. $37.92 a barrel, notes and bonds. You get the 10-year down 13 ticks, 138.15. The 30-year off a full point plus 8 ticks at 173.03. And King Dollar down 95 ticks, trading 92.432. The euro is at 118. The yen is at 103.54. And the British pound is at 131 to 1 U.S. dollar. Tom O'Brien, we got some nice volatility here. We've been up, down, all around in the last 4 hours. Pretty wild what we have happening out here, man.
Yeah, overnight, things looking a little bit dicey down at about 5 in the morning. I was already awake 5 in the morning, and I was like, oh, man, we're going to give back at least, right? We were down there at 34.56. Well, man, you're talking about we just traded up to almost 35.20 from there, right? 8:30, we get the jobs number, 638,000 for non-farm payrolls, I should say, for last month. That puts an acceleration into the market. We also got overnight Pennsylvania and Georgia, maybe even a little bit more clarity, which the market probably likes as they were pricing in probable Biden win. It looks even more probable, you'd have to say. Not done yet, but does look more probable. And guess what, though? 9:30 rolls around, and what happens, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of a sell-off.
Well,
so we'll see,
it's amazing. We were flat, folks, and then all of a sudden, especially the NQs, man, they sold those NQs down quick. And I suspect that's Apple. I'm not quite sure. Apple, I mean, as soon as it opened, folks, it rolled like downtown. Someone was plowing into Apple, man. Look at this first bar, man. 118 to 116.30.
Microsoft's down almost 2% right now.
Oh.
Amazon's down more than 2% right now. So, yeah, some Netflix down almost 2% right now.
That's crazy, huh? Look at that. Man.
Yeah, Facebook down 1.7. Now, the move we just had, man, it's pretty remarkable, the move we had. And I'll pull it as a cool chart on CNBC talking about the week of elections and going back over it. We're at like 7 or 8% for this week, man. It's going to be the biggest week going back to FDR's first term of his 4 as president. And the S&P's just traded up basically just shy of 300 S&P points from where you were the lowest Friday. You even count in the run that we had, you're talking about basically 250 S&P points we traded up. And so maybe not get too excited over parsing around a 20-point trading range, right? That's what I'm trying to balance in my own mind as well.
Yeah, you're going to love it, man.
Oh.
Let's take a look at some of the higher volume equities. We'll find out we get volume out here. Today you get Apple's down at 214. Tilray's number 2. That's up $1.24. Let's see. Uber's up at 269. You get Advanced Micro up 67 cents. Look at Peloton's up too, man. I thought when they come out with the numbers last night, I didn't check it, but it looked like they didn't hit the numbers. I thought they were trading down, but maybe
so I think they had strong numbers. They did trade down right out of the gate from 126 or something to 115 at the lowest. It looks like, and then just charged back overnight, charged back on the morning. They had strong numbers. One of the things that I saw headlined out there, I was looking at them, is supply constraints. They were going to continue to struggle with something like the quote to the tune of to keep up basically with supplies, and I think that's the market was a little worried that they were still struggling to just produce the thing that they're selling, right? The one or two items or whatever it is that they're selling. But guess what? Today, they're like, and, similar action actually in Uber, man. If you look at it, Uber had quite the trade lower, man, and quite the acceleration higher on the open. And same deal. I mean, Uber, pretty strong numbers in light of, in their business, what's going on. And they talked about that they're seeing some of those businesses come back quicker than they might have thought, and that ride-hailing in particular It's one of the safest ways. Instead of, you're going to take the train, or maybe you'll take an Uber. If you are coming back, as this thing, you know, as people start to get back to normal, it's one of the transportation methods that they say is picking up a little bit quicker than some of the others. I read that last night. I said, yeah, that makes sense, man. I'm going to be much more comfortable jumping in an Uber. You open the window, you got your mask on or something, than sitting on a plane, sitting on a train, or anything like that.
There's no doubt. And then Square. I mean, look at Square.
Yeah.
It's up $16.50, folks. 16 to 22. Trading 191. Big number here. Is this trying to break? This looks like it's going to try to break out. Yeah.
I mean, we're up $40 from where we were Tuesday morning in this stock, man.
And look, you go back to March, folks. $32 to 193.
And I tell you, when you're done looking at Square, pull up a chart of PayPal, because I pulled them both up, and I thought the chart didn't even refresh for me this morning, because they look so similar, man, in terms of the drop they had to, like, and maybe it's just on a different time frame. You're not back to March.
Look at that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at that chart real quick, and I said, wait, did it refresh? Yeah.
82 to 200.
You know,
look at this thing, man. This thing looks like it's going to bust topside, too, man. I mean, this is a classic, folks. We broke topside in July, a really nice volume. So I guess on a weekly, 56 million. Then you come back and test it with 48. Then you take it off again with 79. So, yeah. These payment systems are totally where it's at. I mean, that's what Ant is too. I mean, that's the payment systems basically have the banks. The banks are going to have to end up buying some of these payment systems. I mean, that's where this thing is shaking out. You know, so
because PayPal, they own, what do they own? Venmo.
Okay.
I believe PayPal, which is a big one that I use, Venmo.
Right.
You Venmo, like I can send you $15 on Venmo. You know, I can send you $200. I can send you $1,000 for rent or something on Venmo. Very easy.
And you know what? It's interesting about that. I was trying to get on Zelle this week.
Yes, I use that as well.
And what do you hear what happened? So I got to end up calling the bank up. So my account says it's SunTrust. And they say that, they take it. But when you go on the website to try to figure out, how you do it on the website, they make it as hard as you possibly can in order to basically get it done. So I was saying, this is intriguing. They know they have to take some of these apps. But guess what? They don't make it easy. And one of the targets are telling me it's very messy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I do use that one. And it's pretty. Somebody needed to send me money, and I would regularly, paying for rent or rentals, and it's super simple.
That's why I'm doing it. It's the exact same thing. One of the tenants wants to, put it across with that. I know exactly. Yep. So maybe we got to go to Venmo, right?
Well, I can tell you it works well. So I use Zelle. It works. It drops. But I use Wells Fargo. Yeah. Shame on me, but I've been there for a while. But maybe it does. It matters. I'm sure what bank you're using, right, and how they decide to integrate things easily or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's take a look at the dollar out here. So the dollar, folks, goes downtown yesterday with conviction. You're lower today. You broke the little swing here of 92.474. So I expect we're going to close underneath that today. Now, folks, it's going to be working on the September 1st low. I don't expect that today, but guess what? Gets a little sleep over the weekend. This thing's going to go after that 91.746. You break that, and that is saying that dollar's going to go down to 88. So it's a big number as we come down into these levels. Dow Industrials down 82, Nasdaq's off 84, S&P's are down 10. We'll come right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials, they're down 89. You get the NASDAQ off 70. S&Ps are off 9.5. And take a look at Zillow, man. Zillow is trading up $13.94, 117. This thing, this is just too much, man. I mean, you know, it's amazing, you know, what you'd think would happen inside of a lockdown versus what has happened.
Sure.
You know, I mean, look at this. This is going to be a monster ABC up, folks. Okay, this is blowing away a B point on the weekly. That's 112. Look, this is a sick one. Oh my God, you're talking about almost 55 points, which would get you $1.40, and you're at $1.17. So let's see what these guys had to say. They must have come up with numbers here.
Yes, last night I think after the bell.
So it's better than expected revenue third quarter, low interest rates, of course. Yesterday we broke the rate structure for 21 years, folks. Revenue of $657, beaten 569.
How about that second point there I see to talk about their flipping? No, you got it. The second key insight there, that they began flipping properties. Remember, we talked about this in 2018, but the company pumped the brakes in the early of the pandemic, currently buying properties at a cautious rate, 808 homes compared with 2291 a year earlier. Interesting.
Yeah. They're ramping it up again.
I was looking for some profit numbers on those flipping properties. Remember we looked at it last time? They were losing money in a big way. I know you remember.
And I believe they're still losing money in a big way. And if you want to have some fun, folks, okay, I haven't done this yet, but Nico has done this, right? I'm following Nico, what he's doing. It's pretty wild. If you go to Zillow and you put your house on Zillow, right, you'll end up getting a call. They'll solicit you, okay? But if you really want to see how things have changed inside the real estate business and where it's going to go, I suspect you're going to learn quite a bit. Nico's telling me so when he first put his house up there, right? And he's not selling his house, by the way, okay? He just wanted to see like a year from now or something what his house is worth. So he put his house up, and then he's talking to the agents, right? And the agents are explaining to him, well, if you tweak this a little bit more, as you keep tweaking it, meaning saying, I'm near a park, I'm near this, I'm near that, they put more value into the house. So it's wild, man. You know, because
they're all variables in the algorithm. Don't you know that?
Exactly, which is so cool. No, listen, I know, man. And you know, guess what? It's going to be really important that you understand how those, how you think they may move. Let's put it that way. So,
Definitely.
we'll see where that whole thing shakes out. But there's no doubt with low interest rates and the amount of advertising that is on Zillow, they're making big money. They say, well, Roku. I mean, you know, people, you can't figure out what Roku. I mean, Roku focuses in the advertising business in a monster way. I mean, they could care less about how many Rokus you buy. Every single person that comes on, every single, you know, they're in the advertising business, and they're doing very well at it. You know, this is blowing away.
They are. I must not be the only one with 4 Rokus in my house.
I was thinking about you, man. And what I was actually thinking about is that, you know, you told me you got a great deal on them anyway. I said, okay, that makes sense because, you know, the bottom line is that they want advertising. You know what I mean? And everyone that has a Roku, you know.
I think it was $40, and it's like an HDR. I think it even might go up to 4K, even though I don't have a 4K especially. But the remote turns on the TV. It's got volume buttons as well, so you got one remote for the TV, for everything. It's like a cable box. And I explained to you, for folks out there, we cut the cord, but then you wanted some of the regular channels, and what we did is we got Spectrum.
Yeah.
But nowadays you can get Spectrum, and you pay for no cable box at all. You still have a cloud DVR that's accessible from anywhere you're watching it. And you buy a Roku, and that's your cable box. So you get your cable down to like $60 a month, and that's it. Now, it's still $60 a month. It's kind of similar to like a YouTube TV at that point, right?
Okay.
You get all the channels, and you're just using an app to access it.
And it's easy to use, right?
It's pretty easy to use. It's not as good as a cable box itself because it's an app, so it's slightly different, right? You don't have the same interactive nature. I'm sure they're working on that. But money-wise, man, we don't watch a ton of TV anyway. I can pull up Bloomberg on my computer, which I do often anyway.
Right.
Watch a movie on Netflix Prime, you know, but sometimes people in the house, they want to watch that random cable channel that's out there, etc.
Right.
But at least you're not paying for the, you know, every box in every room, the rental fee, the cloud accessible, DVR accessible from every room. We all know
those 225 bills are
you
gone.
Got it.
Yeah.
You got it, man. Exactly.
They're definitely gone.
Yeah.
877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at that gold market out here. So we take a look at gold. Right now you're down $1.80. What we did out here yesterday, folks, bottom line, we ripped apart this trend line, which is a beautiful deal. And you're going to see it's decisive, man. I mean, this is how you like to take apart a trend line. And we did. Where do you see this volume, man? I mean, it's just pretty wild how this shakes out. So we did 298,000 contracts, you know, and you can see it's a decisive break. So I'll get that's man, Mr. Bud Rolfs, okay, whether that's saying we get game to 2,089, and you had many of these equities. Newmont was the leader, you know. That baby did it in spades when they come out with their numbers, but you had follow-up in a nice way. I mean, you know, Royal Gold used to be one of the strongest golds out here. Turned into a dog, you know, basically, you know, off these highs, and, you know, finally did it, man. You know, I mean, now it's going to be climbing that wall of worry. I mean, we're at 125. Royal Gold, the high out there is 147. And then Franco-Nevada, which is strong, you know, this thing came off with a vengeance, man. I mean, this thing was like... This took no prisoners, meaning that. So we went from 138, well, $10, 138 to 148 in 5 days. So we'll see where this printing press is going to go. And
hey, how about? I was going to jump over to CVS. They got some big numbers, man. They're trading higher. Pull it up. by almost 5.5% today, and that transition that they're kind of making going well for them, kind of the health service provider I mentioned on my show earlier this morning, man. CVS Health, right? Ditching the cigarettes, bringing it all in-house, the amount of services you can provide, et cetera. And I even mentioned myself that I think it was over the last 3 months. Remember, I was sick. I mean, time flies. It might have actually been longer than 3 months at this point, but I think it was that I got a COVID test myself at CVS. They were just talking.
Oh, is that where you got it? Okay.
I got 2 because I went to the hospital first for a rapid test.
Okay.
But then I believe they call it the PCR test, the one that you do the swab, you send it away.
Okay.
I did. It was a drive-through CVS. They basically pass you the swab through the little drawer that comes out. You self-administer it, and then you put it back in there as a way to make sure that they're not getting contaminated the best they can. The slight drawback from that is that somebody might not self-administer it far enough, right, to get everything they need. I was fortunate enough to have already gone through a test, kind of knew what it felt like to, as they say, like tickle the back of your brain back there. Yeah, exactly. But thankfully, they came back negative. So, but those COVID numbers, man, be safe, social distance, wear a mask, folks. We had 120,000 cases yesterday, so man, oh man.
Dow down 245, Nasdaq up 62, S&P's up 6.5. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back.
Hi, folks. Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 65, Nasdaq's off 55, S&Ps are off 6. And let's go look at Mosaic. So Mosaic, folks, what the question is here is that have I changed my thesis? I'm not sure what thesis that we're going to talk about with Mosaic because I went both ways. I was long Mosaic, and let me show you what we did here. So I liked Mosaic, and thank God we ended up making money in it anyway. But I get out of it, and let me show you why. So what had happened is that we're into Mosaic, and I like this spike up there from 2003. But what I've seen is that when you lay at highs here and you just get no volume whatsoever, and that's what was happening, I just get out of it. And then, you know, what it did do is that it had spiked higher, last week? We got out of it a couple weeks ago. Spiked higher last week, then come out with the numbers and it went downtown. What I would let this do is basically try to retest like a 1650 area first. Now it's going to show itself. Because the danger with Mosaic right now is that it can just come back to its breakout area. Wouldn't, you know, have something necessarily wrong with it, but that's a that's a big down trap at 1350 when you're out there at 19, now you're at 1750. So, you know, and that play there has to do with commodities running, and I think commodities are still going to run. So.
Speaking of commodities, how about cannabis? It's got a commodity, man. Let's jump to some of these cannabis stocks, man. It's crazy. They're continuing the run. You got Canopy up about 10% again today.
That ABC's in place. Wow.
Right? I mean, quite the pullback.
Holy cow. Well, thank God those Tigers stayed in that ABC up.
Quite the pullback on Wednesday, man.
Look
and
at
some
that.
of these stocks. Credit to our man Dan in the Dan Boston. Dan, I don't think he's in there right now, but I was thinking about it, man. He was in there on Wednesday saying this pullback's too much, man. I think he sold some puts, bought some calls. The Dan folks, check it out at TFNN. I already have some exposure to Canopy, so I didn't, but I was agreeing with him. I was looking at the market. It's right at the end of the day, Wednesday. I mean, Canopy alone, we're up $4 and no pun intended. I was going to go from 19 to what are we at? 23, $4 and almost 20 cents from where we closed on Wednesday. You're talking about more than 20%, man, where we were at the close of Wednesday, where there was a lot of clarity there. Wow. You know, yeah, the talk was the market might have been pricing in a complete blue wave for complete federal legislation, right? But guess what? Legalization in New Jersey, along with many other states, bipartisan support anyway. A very close Senate that actually is not decided yet. We're hearing a lot about, right? In Georgia, the 2 seats that might be up for grab. So much for the election season being over. Man, if you're living in Georgia, get ready for some political ads.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Have you seen? I mean, it's going to be...
This is a runoff, right?
There's probably going to be both senators. You got to reach 50% in the state. Both senators probably going to have a runoff. And when you think about the fact that it could decide the fate of the Senate, there's just going to be a lot riding on it. And as we know in Florida, the amount of political ads, thank goodness those are over. Yeah. But they're coming to Georgia in a big way until I think it would be.
Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, these states will get their acts together, folks. And you know, what's intriguing is that Florida is, you know, kind of a strange state in the aspect that we actually do have the act together so well. But I think the only reason that is, is that because we had the Chads in 2000. I'm wondering if that's when everything changed in Florida.
It'd be interesting. I'd be interested to hear why we count early ballots. Now, here's the deal, right? Pennsylvania in particular, I'm not really sure the others. I know in Pennsylvania, they were trying to get the Republican state legislature and the Democratic governor to come to terms to count those ballots ahead of the election. It was expected. The Philadelphia said, listen, we're not equipped to handle this right now, to begin counting and get them done the day of. It's going to take us days to count the mail-in ballots we have. They could have done it. They chose not to.
Right.
Knowing very well, you know, it's not that this is how the rhetoric was going to devolve after the fact. And there's no reason why. We do it in Florida. There's no reason why those mail-ins can't get counted.
Florida,
hopefully,
you know what happens here, and I bet it's
a
after.
bummer.
We got to Google it, but I bet it's after the 2000 Shad thing because it doesn't make any sense because the Republicans run Florida, folks. So it doesn't even make any sense to me because in all these other states they basically want to stop voting. I mean that's the bottom line. So it's not that the way the law is that they have to actually come out within a half hour after the polls close, too.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Which is pretty wild, man. Yeah. I mean, so.
I'd say that's the one thing, hopefully, because mail-in balloting, it's here, folks. I can tell you in Florida.
Sure.
I wrote it by mail. I requested, and you get to check the box and say, yeah, I want to keep doing it. I want to do it. Send me mail-in ballots for the next however many elections, right? I forget what it was. I checked it. So it's too easy, man. You follow up the ballots afterwards. 5 states already do it exclusively. So, yeah, they got to get it done. Because, man, this waiting game
we'll
is...
We'll have those numbers. You can expect, folks, the bottom line is that you're going to get these numbers sometime today, man. I mean, everyone's being very careful because everything is so close, man. It's amazing. It's amazing that these states are so close, man. The popular vote's not close, folks, okay? But the popular vote doesn't mean a thing in presidency. But the states, holy cow, when you're talking about millions and you're talking about 40 or 50,000 makes the difference. It's like, wow, man, that's
we need some more governings about compromise, man. We need compromise. I said to a friend, it's like no matter how it goes, every election's 51-49 right now, right? Shifts can occur, but right now, man, it's 51-49 on like all the big swing states where it falls, and it's unfortunate that decides monumental shifts, right, of how things work across the board. Whereas if we just had some common sense agreements, maybe there's still shifts, but it's so close. You can't govern when every 4 years, we're going to go from, free health care for everybody, no one paying for college, to the next year, no health care. It's like there's got to be something, man. So hopefully.
Wild. Dow right now off 56. You get the NASDAQ off 73. Let's go inside the NDX, and you can see here. Let me just show you Apple first, folks. You can see that all Apple has to do is crawl up a little, and that's how those indices crawl up. So Apple just went from 116 to 117.5, and that's all it takes to basically put a little juice inside the S&P, which is just such a trip, man. NDX, the strength versus the weakness. You got T-Mobile's the strength out there today. That's up 5.5%. You got Microchip up 4.4. BioMarin's up 3.2. And Marriott, I'm surprised on Marriott. Bottom line, we'll look at Marriott. Marriott's up 2.6. Then taken away from it, Electronic Arts is down 8%. You got CGen off 3%. Regeneron's off 2.3%. Let's go over to this Marriott and see what they had to say with these numbers. So Marriott trading up 275, coming to the top of its range. Well, it beat estimates, so they, let's see. They were looking to lose, estimated loss share, 8 cents. They only lost 6, right? Oh, let's see. Well, no. Adjusted earnings. 6 cents versus, boy, this is hard to read.
That's year over year.
Okay.
Let's see.
So
estimate was
money.
8.
They made money, yeah. They made 6 cents versus last year, $1.47. They were looking to lose, they were looking to lose money, yeah.
They were looking to lose 8 cents, yeah.
Yeah, the revenue year over year is down 57%. That would be expected.
Yeah, pretty much in line, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably not hard to estimate it when they know they're in such pain. They know the travel numbers. It's a tough deal that they're dealing with.
Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 65, Nasdaq's off 59, S&Ps are off 9. We're getting a little more action in this dollar. So this is going to be interesting for the gold market, folks. Not a huge amount, but the bottom line is that you're down 227, and gold's out here is flat. If that thing starts charging down a little bit more, we'll see some action inside of that gold contract. Because guess what? We get the pits closed at 1:30. Eastern time. The markets close period electronically at 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock Sunday night. So it's always dicey in that metal market, and because we had an expansion upside, the probability is that you can get more up. I don't think we're going to pull back, but when you are going downtown in the gold market on a Friday afternoon, it's not good, man.
Not often do you go into a weekend after a presidential election and not a single news outlet's called that presidential election. Not often.
Right.
It's happened, as we all know, but
Right.
man, not often.
Right. And listen, the market's already figured it out. That's
I agree.
When I look at the market, it looks to me like it's already figured it out.
And here's the thing, right? The market just makes probability bets, okay?
Right.
So, yeah, there's a chance that Biden does not win. It's factored in according to the probability, right? And you're talking about some pretty severe probabilities in Biden's favor right now. So, yeah, it's factored in probably to the tune of single digits, man. If you're talking about probabilities, probably.
And, the 30-year, this is going to be a big deal in the 30-year. The 30-year, folks, had gone all the way down to the 170 mark, exploded topside to the 175 in the same day. Now what we've just done, we just got back under the August 28th level again, which is the 173.16. So this is going to be wild, man. I mean, once, normally what ends up happening, folks, if you get a false break, which we got, and this was a decisive break downtown, normally if you can get back on the other side of it, you really go exponential the other side of it. That's what kind of happens because everyone is basically being faked out. You go down there, and then all of a sudden it takes off. And that works both ways. So this is going to be intriguing because the weekly, of course, is more important than the daily. Sure. So if we close down there, it's like, okay, man, it's been one day break downtown, one day break uptown, and then right back downtown again. So.
And what's interesting too is that we're right at. I just put the Fibonacci in terms of the whole run we had to higher territory, right in the 10-year, and then what's this pullback, and we're right just a hair under 50% in both of them, man.
Okay.
There's your 10-year I got up there. 138.14.
Yeah.
We're at 138.13, and the 30-year, even though it was a much bigger move, same exact thing, man. Yeah, we moved almost 6 points, but it's 130.01. It would be the move, and we're at 173.01, and we're at 172. They're right at that 50%. So we'll see.
That's cool to know, because that's just a normal retracement, folks, at that point, at 50.
Sure.
Okay? You go to 61% retracement, different ball game, but that's going to be wild watching that thing shake out, because what we had, let's say today's Friday, so Wednesday, what with that mortgage rate is, average mortgage rate across the country was 2.87 on a 30-year, so that is very inexpensive money for 30 years. There's no doubt about that.
And we got to go back to Canopy again, man, because they just jumped up 15% now. This is really taking shape pretty quickly as this thing accelerates.
Move.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally bring it right back, but that was since we touched on this 10 minutes ago.
Look what it has going for it, too. It's got an 18% shot position, man. It's almost 1 out of 5 shares a shot. That's toasted and roasted time.
Risk-reward rise, folks, being short going into an election, especially staying short after you have the probability of a Biden presidency, cannabis stocks at these price levels, woof.
Yeah. And, you already had Cuomo come out. He expects that it's going to be legal in New York next year. The state of New York we're talking about.
They ain't no fools, man.
It's tax money, right?
You're going to let your entire... Listen, New York is New Jersey, as in...
I get so sick of the hypocrisy in this whole deal. It's sick. It's bad until they need money, and then it's good. It's like, yeah, really. I can't even imagine. It still blows my mind about this deal that it's a Schedule 1, right? Is that the correct?
It sure is. You got it.
That's like so insane.
I believe like cocaine's a Schedule 2.
Yeah, how can that be possible?
Because cocaine has medicinal use and marijuana does not. I'm glad you asked that question. No, that's the legitimate answer. That's the actual distinction. So
that's the rap. My God, cocaine will send you to.
I don't think that's a rap from anybody, but that is the distinction on that federal, whether they have medicinal use or not. So hopefully they get it done. We'll see. The Senate's going to be close no matter what, man. All you need is a couple moderate senators for some compromise out there. So hopefully that gets done no matter what, man.
Yeah. 877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at Microsoft again, because it looks like Microsoft may be setting up a nice ABC up here, actually. This is going to be wild, because you can see this expansion up. We come back and filled it. It looks like it filled that gap from yesterday, 218.32. It did, 218.03. We'll see whether you get any volume here. It just goes sideways. This is going to be, you're going to want to keep your eye on Microsoft next week, folks, to give you an idea of the market in general, I'd say. And what I mean specifically is the market in general going to go out and try to test these highs? Amazon, so Amazon's got some volume here, though. This is interesting. 1.8 million already. That's a lot of volume on Amazon. So Amazon, is coming down, did the same thing. But that's a little too much volume on the way down. Let's see what Google did. Google didn't do anything. That's down $7. Facebook, that's going sideways too. That still wants higher price, man.
One of the things I'll be interested in, I'm trying to figure out in my head just fundamentally to combine with all the technicals of things, is how specific stocks have reacted most to the work from home, stay at home restrictions.
Yes.
And when we start to get news of a vaccine, which is very possible by the end of the year, and we're coming into the beginning of November. So how does that play out in terms of what really is going to be the reaction from Amazon when we get news, hopefully, of a vaccine that's pretty effective? What's the news on like a Target, a Walmart, right? What's the news on a Zoom? And then just the likes of whether you start going to the Marriotts, the airlines and stuff like that for some volatility.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, let me do this. Yeah, as you're saying that, I want to bring up Ruth Chris. and see where this is.
There you go. That could be one area. You know, that's what I'm trying, because you're going to see some risk-reward-wise. I think there's going to be some moves here in both directions.
The places that have managed to stay in business, folks, okay? You know, everyone's going to want to break out, man. This is going to be like the Great Escape.
Totally. I said I exaggerated a little bit. I don't think so. This morning I said a year or two, man. You're not going to want to miss a restaurant, a concert, a sporting event, a trip, a beach day, whatever it is, man. Yeah. Just your family and friends, every party, birthdays, holidays, you know.
You just got to get it at the right time. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back. You get the Dow Industrials down 43, Nasdaq down 55, S&P's off 6.5. We'll come right back.
Back in the day, I joined the Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow just flipped to green. We're at up 2 points. You get the Nasdaq off 32. S&Ps are flat. So bottom line is, man, Mr. Basil Chapman would say the day is young.
It sure is, man, especially on a day like today, man. We got non-farm payrolls. We got a presidential election. We got 5 hours left to go in trading before we go to
and those non-farm payrolls are pretty good, man. I mean,
they were 638,000 jobs added
right.
For the month. The market was looking for about 530,000. we're still missing about 10 million people from the rolls in terms of what we had in terms of February and March. Lost about 22 million jobs, regained about 12 million jobs now, but an unemployment rate of about 66.9%, which the market
I heard
loved.
you talk about the participation rate. What was that about?
Yeah, it's
dicey. I get it.
There's a lot of numbers in there, and I was
question,
still trying to digest where they all are coming and going from.
Because it makes a difference if it was lower or higher as to what the unemployment rate actually comes in at. That's why I was asking.
So here we go. The jobless rate decline was positive, as it came with a labor force participation rate that rose 0.3 percentage points to 61.7%. So there you go.
That's
now the reason
too.
why, and then they have the other gauge of unemployment that includes discouraged workers and those holding part-time jobs. That one declined also from 12.1 to 12.8. I forget, what is that called? The U9 maybe, I think it is.
Okay.
It's another term, and it includes some of these workers who are discouraged, so they take themselves out of the unemployment, or they're holding part-time. That's a big one as well. And that dropped 0.7% as well to 12.1. So strong numbers, man, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Stay right there, folks. We got Think or Swim coming up next. And I'm Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. I'll be back this afternoon. Thanks, Val.
Thanks, man.
Look at him, folks.